I don't think we can talk about pest control in an hour and not cover the topic of roof rats.
Yeah.
Do y'all deal with roof rats?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
What's interesting
What
is...
can you do?
Put rattlesnakes up there.
That's right. Really put your cats up there.
Man, oh man. Hey, can you believe what the dilemma this has become in the valley?
It's amazing, actually, because they're not indigenous to here. Before 2001, they didn't have roof rats in Arizona.
Yeah, I heard they were like imported on some furniture container or something.
They think that, or maybe into some landscaping material.
Man.
And it was actually not too far from here, like the Arcadia area is the first place they actually identified a roof rat. And for years, when we first started in Arizona, we'd only get calls from North Phoenix, and they eventually started popping up in Mesa over the orange groves.
Yeah.
And it was kind of isolated. Now they just keep spreading and spreading and spreading. We get calls in parts of the valley that we never got calls before.
How do y'all attack them?
Well, it's a couple steps. One is you got to identify for sure what they have and how they're getting in. How they're getting in is huge because, you can go in and eliminate them, but if you don't figure out how they're getting in and fix that, then it's just going to be an ongoing issue. And so we also do a full analysis on excluding the house. We call it exclusion to fix up holes, gaps where they can get in by fixing that. Then you can help keep new ones out.
Okay.
Now they're smart animals. I mean, and they can chew through stuff. If they really want to get in, they can chew through stuff. And so you then also want to use control measures on the exterior to keep the populations down as best as possible too. So, there's control measures also.
Okay. Now I've heard they're slow.
No,
they're pretty quick.
Oh, they're way fast.
Oh, are they really?
And,
okay.
And roof rats, the reason they're called roof rats is because they love being up high.
Yeah.
And they're arboreal, so their natural environment is to live in trees, and they can climb. Like I've seen them climb in a video. I've seen them climb right up a vertical surface on stucco. Just go right up it like it's no big deal.
We actually had them for a little bit at our house, and we have a big wash in the backyard, and on the other side of the wash is a home that was kind of under construction. They had this pile of debris that had been there a long time. And we just kind of watched, and I kind of went over and talked to the neighbor. Actually, Jennifer went over and talked to the neighbor and said, we think that pile of debris may be harboring some roof rats. No. Well, they came back to us about 6 months later and said, well, when we finally got somebody to haul that debris about, there was a whole column there. It was full of roof rats. So that kind of cleaned up our situation around our neighborhood.
Yeah, they can reproduce.
Well, in reducing, they can reproduce really quickly, and you're lucky to be able to kind of know where that was to be able to get rid of it.
Man.
A lot of people, they're so prolific throughout the neighborhood. You do kind of have to have a proactive approach just to make sure that you can keep the population down around your house. Keep trees away. You don't want trees overhanging your roof line. Just different things that you can do from a, you talked about earlier about conducive conditions, just trying to keep it so it's not have easy access to your house.
Like you alluded to the oleanders earlier.
Yeah.
They love oleanders.
Do
sometimes the people at the hedges get just super thick.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the hotel for all the roof rats. And
That's
so
why the dogs go so crazy out there.
Yeah, probably so.
So, keeping those trimmed up and even thinned out some can really help. Because if you can get some light in there, it's making them more and more uncomfortable and, less inviting for them to nest there.
You talk about excluding them from your property. How big a space do they need to crawl in?
They only need about the size of a quarter. So it's not very big. Even though they're much bigger than that, if they can get their skull through it, they can actually, the rest of their body can maneuver to get through it. I've seen videos of it. It's crazy.
So you're not looking for tennis ball size holes in the side of your house.
No, size of a quarter.
Yeah.
Curtis, so I understand trying to keep them out of your house, but is there a way even to keep them out of your yard? A lady just texted us on Facebook and messaged us and said she just saw a couple in her grapefruit tree. So what can she do?
With citrus, you want to, as soon as it's time to harvest, get them all harvested and get them off there. Don't be letting them fall on the ground because they love corn into citrus. Now, they don't usually go for lemons, but they love oranges, and I think they'll go for grapefruit too, I assume.
And pomegranates.
Oh, yeah, they probably love pomegranates.
No, they do.
Yeah. Like fig trees, different stuff that people have, olive trees.
So that's a matter of setting traps. Is that one of the techniques?
You can do that, or if you are going to use a rodenticide, use it in a tamper-resistant bait station, and make sure you use it properly per the label.
Okay, you just went over my head there.
So rodenticides are, obviously baits that are for rodents.
Okay.
And then you put it in a tamper-resistant bait station, so it has small holes that are big enough for rodents to get in and come in and out to get to the bait, but non-targets like animals and people can't get into it.
Got it. All right.
Rosie on the house, every Arizona homeowner's best friend.